Breathe. It's over. It's finally over. That is resilience personified. That's what this team does. Resilience over and over and over again. It's Jalen Brunson. It's Tom Thibodeau. It's the culture of this Knicks team. I talked about it throughout this season. I talked about it so many times. I talked about it throughout this series. Whether it was going back in the OG trade, whether it's Randall going down, the great April, it doesn't matter. This team finds a way. This team is resilient. It's why we fall in love with this team. It's why we torture ourselves for a game like that. That game took years off my life, I swear. I'm chewing on things. I'm fidgeting with everything. I have no fingernails left. I'm trying. I have a headache from the stress. I'm not even kidding. I was so just the roller coaster of that game. But it's what they do. It's why you love them. It's why we do this to ourselves, because this team and their resilience and everything they do is the story of this game and the story of this series yet again for the New York Knicks. And it's been the story of the Knicks since Tom Thibodeau took over, and for the 2024 New York Knicks especially. So welcome back. Rami Lavi podcast, as always, is sponsored by Huga Hats, which reminds you, Huga House, rather, which reminds you to cherish the little things. The little things I cherish: hitting free throws, role players, and Jalen Brunson, another little thing I cherish. It's just, I mean, I wish I just the emotion of the game is like I was just shock, relief almost when it was over. So I kind of want to take you through it right now, but use my code Rami, RAMI, for 15% off your order at hugahouse.com. The link is in the bio in the description. You can get a cool hat like this. Actually, I'll post a picture later. It says, I don't know what my hair looks like right now, so I don't want to take it off. But it says cherish the little things inside. I don't care how bad could it be. I don't know if you see that. It just says cherish the little things inside. All right. Let's get into it a little bit. So you knew this team was resilient when they come out the way they came out. Because after losing game 5, you knew they were going to punch first in game 6. After the way they lost game 5, everyone wanted to contribute. Everyone wanted to dominate in game 6. Everyone wanted to be a part of the action and have a piece and play a role. And you saw that right away. Everyone getting involved. They go up 22. So the keys that I said, the keys to the game were get off to a hot start, which I said they needed to do, and Donte DiVincezo needs to get going. Now, ultimately, that didn't help, which I guess, well, it did in the long scheme of things, whatever. But didn't work out because of how the next part went. But Donte DiVincezo, and a great job by Tom Thibodeau, where everyone's like, run plays for him, call plays. What do you do to get him going? Tom Thibodeau decides, you know what? The guy who killed us most last game was Tyrese Maxey. Donte, you're guarding Tyrese Maxey one-on-one. We're not trapping him. We're not doing anything on him. We're not doubling him. We are you're on him. Donte, go for it. One-on-one, you have to guard him. And it seemed to have energized Donte DiVincezo in a way that I haven't seen in previous games. And he seemed all of a sudden jacked up, fired up, and involved in the game. And it happened right away. He starts hitting threes. I think he hits 4 or 5 of his first 5. He's in the game. And by the way, he barely sat in this game. And he may have played 48 minutes. I have to check. But Tyrese Maxey had arguably his worst game of the series. I mean, of course, there were a couple games that he completely disappeared, but he had one of his worst games of the series. And by the way, I want to mention this because I'm going to forget. Final score combined between the two teams over the 6 games, Knicks by 1. Just to tell you how close that series was. And what a just, and yes, Donte DiVincezo played 48 minutes, 23 points, 7 assists. And it started on the defensive end, where while the numbers for Maxey look good, he ended with 17 points, not even good, 17 points, 5 assists. He wasn't effective. He really wasn't. And that was because of Donte DiVincezo. What he did on the defensive end was as valuable as what he did on the offensive end. And a great job by Tom Thibodeau to put him on Maxey and say, all right, guard him. And it's going to get you going on the offensive end. That's what a great coach does. Now, Buddy Hield goes off in the second quarter. And man, I was going to lose it. I was just ready. Like, we did everything right. Everything we were supposed to do in this game, we came out and did. And Buddy Hield went off on us. Like, what are you supposed to do? He had 17 points in the second quarter. He had 2 points all series. So The Knicks, again, are put in a position where they have to bounce back, where they have to be resilient. Because again, they go down again, another gut punch, going from up 22 to down 10 at one point in the third quarter. And they kept fighting back. The ticky-tack fouls that Embiid's getting called on Hartenstein, guys getting punched in the face, and then Embiid and Nick Nurse. I'm not going to miss Joel Embiid, Nick Nurse, and Kyle Lowry going, oh my God, no, we didn't foul on every single foul when they clearly fouled. There was a stretch in the fourth where OG just went off. He had a great game. He had some big dunks. I know he missed some dunks also, but he had that stretch where he had the defensive play where he had a block, and then he comes down the other end and he hits the layup. He hit a couple of huge threes, including the game-tying three at the end of the third, the go-ahead three to start the fourth. So many plays, and they lost the lead again in the fourth quarter. The Sixers went up back up by 1. The Knicks go up 8. The Sixers come back again. Time and time again, this team's fight, this team's will was tested. And credit the Sixers, because it wasn't Embiid and it wasn't Maxey who was doing any of this. Joel Embiid had 2 points in the fourth quarter. Again, completely crumbled. He had an incredible game, but completely crumbled in the biggest moments, as Embiid always does, always has done. And then guess what? You can foul out and cry and pout on the bench all you want. This is on you, Joel Embiid. You got to the line as much as you wanted. You were doing whatever you want. And then in the fourth quarter, you look like you're allergic to the ball. You look like you want to be anywhere else but on the basketball court. And I don't care if he's hurt. I don't care what else he has going on in his personal life. If he's sick, it doesn't matter. I wish him well. Fuck you, Joel Embiid. Yeah, fuck Joel Embiid. The process is dead. And it's because you, Joel Embiid, are a failure. That's it. End of story. It's because he is not a winning player. The end. Because in those biggest moments, it was everyone else but him making plays, whether it was Batum hitting threes, whether it was Buddy Hield, like we mentioned earlier. It didn't matter. It was everyone but, and even Oubre, everyone but Joel Embiid, as always is the case in crunch time. But the Knicks fought again. And that's what makes you fall in love with this team. My father told me, he's like, look, the Sixers could have rolled over down 22. And frankly, if Buddy Hield doesn't go off in the second, I think the Sixers do roll over. But they didn't. They kept punching back. Give them credit. Give the role players credit. Give Nick Nurse credit. All you want. Jalen Brunson and Tom Thibodeau created a culture, brought it here, and really Tom Thibodeau started it and brought Jalen Brunson here to build on it. That is built on resilience. That is built on never quitting, never saying die, always punching back, always fighting back, no matter what happens. Jalen Brunson, think about it. He personifies that by every single time he's double team, he's triple team. It doesn't freaking matter. The guy finds a way. Jalen Brunson proved in the series that he is actually truly unstoppable, because at times they had the whole game plan was triple him. Don't let him get the ball. Whatever you do, don't let Jalen Brunson beat us. And it seems like the more they turned up the pressure on Jalen Brunson, the more he did beat them. I mean, he starts the series slow with 22 points and seven assists, 24 points and 6 assists in games 1 and 2. Then since then, 39 points and 13 assists in the game 3 loss. And in the last 4 games, 47 and 10, 40 and 6, and 41 and 12 tonight. The ultimate definition of a superstar. When everything was thrown at him, when he was at times the only guy who looked like he knew how to play basketball on the court for the Knicks, the Sixers still couldn't stop him. And then that last play, obviously kicking it out to Josh Hart for the dagger 3. And think about it, the Nova guys, the 3 guys that also are the core of the team, the definition of the team. Josh Hart hits the huge dagger 3. We got a bang from Mike Breen. 2 bangs in the game, by the way, because I think either when when Anunoby hit the 3 to take the lead early in the fourth, he said bang again. Premature bang there, sure. But I'll take 2. Hart hits the dagger 3. We get a bang. And then DiVincezo and Brunson hit 4 clutch free throws. And the Knicks finally decide, hey, we're going to foul. We're not going to try and play that game anymore, where we see if they can hit a 3, even though in the last few seconds they did. Again, just this team, starting with Brunson, the Nova guys, and Tom Thibodeau. And by the way, the Knicks, this is the second time they've reached the second round of the playoffs in consecutive. Well, sorry. It's the first time since 2000 that they've reached the second round of the playoffs in consecutive seasons. That's unbelievable. That is Tom Thibodeau. That's everything that's what he's done. That's what he's done for this team. That's what he's done for this franchise. Game 1 against Monday, and now they're going every other day, which they didn't do in this series. But every other day, game 1 Monday in New York at 7:30 p.m. in at MSG. The first 2 games are on TNT and the next 2 are on ESPN. So hopefully we get some Mike Breen in there because we're done with Mike and Clyde, which is always sad. I love those guys. I love those two. You heard the emotion in Mike Breen's voice. Like, he's so into it. You hear how emotional into it Clyde is, and you just hope that, they get to see more and Mike Breen can call some of these games too. He'll have to be a little less biased, obviously, but yeah, I was stressed. That game was tough. I always said Knicks in 6. I said it at the beginning of the series. I said it when they're up 3-1 that I still thought it would be Knicks in 6. I wanted them to close it out in 5. But after game 5, I told you I came on strong. It was always Knicks in 6. So Knicks in 6, Knicks in 6, Knicks in 6, Knicks in 6, Knicks in 6. All right. I want to talk about the baseball tomorrow, and maybe we'll do a series preview tomorrow as well. Although we have Sunday and Monday. Maybe we'll do a weekend preview because Sunday's also going to be Rangers. All right. We got a bunch of stuff to do tomorrow if we do a Friday afternoon show. It's already early Friday morning as we speak. But again, Tom Thibodeau, Jalen Brunson, the Nova guys, the resilience of this team. What OG did in this game was awesome. I mean, shout out so many guys. Mitchell Robinson was awesome in this game. I thought Hartenstein was okay. I didn't love some of the decisions that Thibs was making. He shrunk the lineup in the second half to 6 guys basically till the end when he brought in Deuce for defense and free throw making essentially. Yeah, just emotional roller coaster. I'm happy the series is over. I'm spent, man. That was rough. I wrote a bunch of notes down because I wanted to remember everything that I wanted to say because there were so many things. And now it's all just kind of I wrote some stuff down and now I'm just trying to freestyle a little bit here because that, again, that was just fun. That was just, it was tough. It was a fun series though. And that was something that, I'm glad it's over. Glad it happened. It's why I believed in this team. It's why I trust this team. And it's why I'm just happy this season's not over yet. I'm happy we get more of this. Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle was on the bench next to the guys. That was cool. Obviously, who wants to plan a trip to Indiana? Should we go to Indiana? The Knicks fans showed out no matter how many Sixers owners buy tickets. Didn't matter. Joel Embiid, what a clown. We're going to win the series still. We're the better team. Shut up. He's probably making excuses right now as we speak. I'm not going to even look. All right. Sounds like I've run out of things to say. I'm just emotionally shook from that and happy that it's over, but also happy that it happened. And really, let's go Knicks. I love this team. Crazy, crazy stuff. And again, Jalen Brunson, Tom Thibodeau. What else is there to say? Those guys are the best. Those guys, I got to buy the jersey. I need to buy the Jalen Brunson jersey because this dude is as special an athlete we've had here with the Knicks. First time since 2000. If we talk so much about the 90s Knicks, and it's the first time since those teams that the Knicks have made it to the second round back-to-back years. Melo never did that. Patrick Ewing was supposed to be the savior. So, I mean, it was almost like expected, I guess. I don't know if you hold that against him. Jalen Brunson came here to change the culture along with Tom Thibodeau. From my lifetime as a Knicks fan, he's the greatest Knick ever. It's the greatest Knicks coach ever from my lifetime as a Knicks fan. And I've said this a lot. I'm proud of this team. It feels weird, but there's a certain sense of pride that you feel towards this team. It's just because you're proud to be a fan of this team. So many people that I talk to are like, oh, we can't watch the NBA now these days. Oh, they just shoot threes and whatever. Show New York Knicks basketball to one of those people. Tell me that this isn't the best version of basketball that there is. Sure, they have to adapt to the game and also shoot threes. It's not as tough and physical, maybe it was in the 90s, but for what the NBA is today is as tough and physical as it gets. And for all the other teams who like to pride themselves in toughness and physicality, like the Sixers tried to do, like the Heat do, they're all gone. It's us and a bunch of soft teams left. I don't even know who. I don't think anyone won. Has anyone watched a minute of Cleveland and Orlando? I haven't seen one highlight. Not one. I think Donovan Mitchell went off in one game. I think game 1. And I saw some highlights from that. Since then, I haven't seen a single highlight. And I watch the NBA a lot. And I watch League Pass a lot. And I pay attention. And I listen to this NBA podcast and stuff. And obviously with Pesach and whatever, there was a lot of time that I wasn't watching sports, but Porzingis is out for the Celtics. They're soft. They'll probably win against whoever they play against, but I don't know. No cap on the Knicks. I'm not putting one on them. And it gives you a sense of pride. It gives you a sense of joy when you're watching this team. And I can't reiterate that enough. I'm excited to see where this goes. I can't wait for whatever happens next. And until then, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll preview the weekend. Maybe we'll talk about the big Mets win from today and the Yankees losing 3 out of 4 in Baltimore. Until then, like, subscribe, share the page. It's growing a little bit. I start to see some people, more views on videos. All right. People were mad at me that I said Knicks in 6 after game 5. Well, come at me. Knicks in 6. It was always Knicks in 6. It always will be Knicks in 6. All right. Maybe I'll also tell you who I think is going to win. Well, I'll do the Indiana series preview on Sunday. But till then, like, subscribe, share. Love you guys. Talk to you then. Peace.